While Game of Thrones Season 8 has been the greatest pop culture disappointment since Luke Skywalker tossed his lightsaber and Star Wars fans tossed their cookies, even the darkest cloud can have a silver lining. A rotten avocado can have one good bite left, and digging through the foulest turd, you may yet find one last kernel of corn. You wouldn't want to eat it, but no analogy is perfect. Which brings us to the point of this video. Is there anything good left in Game of Thrones? Any consolation that we can cling to as we watch the coming calamitous concatenation of caca that will be the final episode this Sunday? I believe there is, my friends. And in this video, which will be brief because there isn't a hell of a lot left to be thankful for, I'll be discussing the one final bright spot in the gathering gloom that is Game of Thrones. And that final spot is, it's making SJW heads explode. This series, up until now, was a shining example of the SJW playbook in action. At one time, it was all white men who were vying for the Iron Throne. Stannis Baratheon, Robert Baratheon, Jaffrey Lannister, Renly, on and on, all white guys, the pale patriarchy for the whitewashed winter win. But alas, one by one, they all fell to the wayside, killed or dispatched by Whammon. Brienne of Tarth killed Stannis. Joffrey was poisoned by medieval Emma Peel. Renly was killed by Melisandre's vagina. Not the worst way to go, by the way. Though ironic since he was gay. The High Septim was killed by Cersei, who blew up a fifth of King's Landing to kill him, indirectly killing another white male contending for the throne, namely her son, the one with the cat who was named Sir Pounce. And it's a sad commentary on that character that I remember his cat's name instead of his, and can't be bothered to Google it. Was it Tommen? Who cares? The point is, he was another white male king who isn't breathing because of a woman's actions. And Robert was killed by a wild boar, who may have been female for all we know, as opposed to Sansa, who is not a wild boar, but certainly a crashing boar. The ruler of Dorne and former Deep Space Nine physician Dr. Bashir was murdered by his sister, Mama Sandsnake, which I believe will one day be the name of a successful Chinese food chain. Mama Sandsnake. With 3 sand snakes, you get egg roll. So all in all, this show has been doing splendid SJW business up until now. All the major rulers were whamming at this point. Cersei, Daenerys, Mama Sandsnake in the dungeon, Sansa, Brienne is Sir Brienne now. It has been girl power all the way except for Jon Snow, who is the rightful heir to the Iron Throne, as it turns out. But since when he took the knee, he stood up and left his balls on the ground in a forgetful manner, we don't have to worry too much about Jon Snow since he doesn't want the job. Or do we? Because some changes have come to Westeros these last few episodes, and the SJWs are wailing and rending their garments, and it's music to my ears. So what happened to the Whammon of Westeros? Which incidentally would make a hell of a Sports Illustrated issue. Seeing all these Whammon in bikinis on the beach? Shit, I'd pay for another 3 months of HBO if they threw that issue into the deal. Sadly for the SJWs, things haven't been going so well for them at all. Think about it. Brienne of Tarth cries like a baby when her man leaves her, which makes her less of a warrior Whammon than Laurie, played by the mom from the Partridge Family, who famously sang a song about not crying in the musical Oklahoma, vowing many a new day will dawn before I do cry like Brienne of Tarth. All the man-hating SJWs hated Brienne crying when Jaime left, since Jaime is a white man, and no Whammon should cry over a white man since they are the low scum of the earth, only suited now for manual labor, cannon fodder, and or making Soylent Green, which is made out of white people, Charlton. White people. You should have been more specific, but I loved you in Planet of the Apes, Moses. Oh, where was I? Oh, yes. The SJWs lost their shit when Missandei, a Whammon of color yet, got her head cut off by another Whammon, namely Cersei Lannister. Holy girl power, Batwoman. The sisterhood turning against each other? But sisterhood, solidarity, right? What is an SJW to do? Where to turn their righteous rage when a white woman orders her pet white man, which is even worse, to kill a black woman? It's death by white male ordered by the matriarchy. Poor Lieutenant Columbo. How's he gonna solve that one?
Excuse me, sir. I'm investigating the murder of Miss Sandy Jones. I understand you carry a sword. May I see that sword, sir? I want to check to see if the ballistics on the blade match the neck wound, sir. And may I say, where did you get those red eyes, sir? You know, some mornings I wake up after drinking heavily and my eyes are that color, sir, just that color. And you know something, I kind of like it. It kind of makes me look younger, like a college student on spring break. Oh, I'm no spring chicken anymore, sir, but those were the days, sir. Oh, and where was Queen Cersei at the time of the beheading, by the way, sir? May I ask where she gets her gowns made? They're very becoming. Our anniversary is coming up, and I'd like to buy Mrs. Columbo an Easter bonnet. Something nice with ribbons that says, "I will be head abroad for Jesus." Ah, she'd love that. Would you get me set up, sir?
But I digress. I'm sorry about that digression, but I'm in a good mood. Thinking about how upset the SJWs are at the beheading of Missandei just tickles the hell out of me. And it gets worse. They make Brienne cry in her nightie. They have a white man under white women orders behead a woman of color. They turn Daenerys, the most feminist icon on the show, into Genghis Hitler Stalinkon in a bad wig by making her into an insane, homicidal, mass-murdering piece of filth who deliberately and systematically kills innocent, unarmed people by the tens, if not hundreds of thousands, not the kind of growl power they were embracing. They turn Arya from Grand Assassin into Nurse Nightingale, the Horse Whisperer, and they bring down a castle on top of Cersei Lannister and her unborn child on Mother's Day. Oh, Jesus. Oh, rending of garments, gnashing of teeth, thumb sprains on Twitter. This is what is good in life. To crush your enemy's propaganda, watch them driven before you on social media, and to hear their lamentations about women. You can't make this shit up. And so, this is my gift to all of you heading into the soul-crushing disappointment of the final episode of Game of Thrones. And if these spoilers I've heard are true, people, you ain't seen nothing yet, oh baby. You just ain't seen nothing yet. If they're true, the SJWs will spontaneously be combusting all over this great land of ours come Monday morning. And that is the kernel of corn in this poop. I am going to have a live stream tonight, Friday night, May 17th at 7 o'clock to laugh about this crap, to discuss Star Trek Picard, and to otherwise kick off the weekend in grand fashion. I hope that you will join me. And from the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha.